Hi everybody, welcome to another video, another campground review with Dale and Shirley Guiducci. We're with Lifestyle Over 50 and we've been doing a lot of these. You can see them on our YouTube channel. You can see them in our individual reviews on our website at lifestyleover50.com. That information will be in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching it on our website, you're already there. Be sure to check out all the other reviews we have of Florida State Park campgrounds. This one, though, is Myakka River State Park. And we had a great time there, didn't we?
It was really amazing.
Yeah.
We got to camp with friends at this one, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and we went there like the day after they opened up Myakka from Tropical Storm Eta.
Right.
And the reason why that's important to know is that the lake was like very full. It was right up to the road. So it created some wildlife experience that we'll talk about here in just a minute. But let's start talking about the campsites. There's 3 different campgrounds here. Why don't you kind of share a little bit about our particular campground, which I believe was the
Old Prairie.
Old Prairie.
We were at site 39 in Old Prairie, which I really liked that section. A lot of trees in between the campsites and the foliage and things like that. But 39 specifically, it was along the inner roadway.
Yeah.
So we did have a little bit of road noise. And that particular site, it was narrow. So we just kind of made it with our stuff.
We have a pop-up camper. We don't have any kind of huge camper here, and it was pretty tight.
It was very tight. However, our friends were in 37, 2 sites over, and they had like an ideal spot. It was nice and wide. It was great for them to back in. So needless to say, we pretty much
spent all our time with them, right?
Right. We were on their campsite, and because ours was so narrow, but still an amazing place, and plenty of sites that were much wider at the time. A lot of the sites were pretty wet. So we're glad that we didn't have that issue, but that was because of the situation with the tropical storm.
Right. And Old Prairie is there's 3 separate campgrounds inside Myakka River State Park. And Old Prairie is one of the older ones. The older one is Big Flats, which is down past the lake on the right-hand side. But they have a brand new campground, and we rode all through all of these. And it's called Palmetto Ridge, and it's brand new. And those campsites are all very flat, and of course, very well manicured, and all the bathroom facilities are brand new, and the bathroom facilities that we had were a bit antiquated, obviously very clean. Florida State Park campground facilities are well taken care of for their age.
Right.
But this again, Palmetto Ridge, brand new, beautiful, flat. The only challenge there is if you want trees overhanging your, you want some shade and kind of more of the atmosphere of, camping with trees and so forth. There's a few sites that you can get it, and we have them all listed on our website for you, but not a whole lot of shade there.
No, very, very, very open campsites, but like Dale said, very well maintained. I think they were even pavement or hard gravel.
Some were paved, a lot of pull-through sites. So a lot of big RVs and so forth, and fifth wheels, a lot of room there. There's certainly not that in our particular campground. You don't want to bring a pull-through or a huge trailer or an RV there, and I think that's probably why they created that new campground. So, but let's talk about the highlights. Let's talk about the real fun stuff at Myakka. We had been there one time before, just on a kind of a day trip.
Right.
Very impressed with the hiking. And the nature and the beauty of the different ecosystems that exist within the state park. But because of Tropical Storm Eta, because of that storm having hit and the lake being really, really full, talk a little bit about the wildlife we were able to see.
That tops my list. The wildlife was amazing. Like if you've never seen alligators before, gators as we say now that we're Floridians.
Yeah, gators.
maybe because of the tropical storm, but yes, we've seen them before on our day trip. But we had to see 100 and groups, and there's so many different areas to check them out. I mean, some super close right to the road. You know, you take your precautions and learn about that, but it was pretty incredible. It was an amazing experience. Like, I'm fascinated by alligators. So that was really cool to see. The birds, like, there's an abundance of so many different species of birds, you know, that we got to see, even just driving down the road or walking,
or riding our bikes
or
down
riding
the road.
our bikes.
So, and by the way, bike riding there is spectacular. There's miles and miles of bike riding that you can do on and off road, but certainly on road. And the on road, the campground road runs right up to the side of the lake going towards the Outpost and stuff, which is right on the lake as well. And just riding our bikes,
Right.
you know, we rode by and there's a gator right there on the edge, big one. And you'll see pictures of that obviously on our website as well. So gator, but what else in birds? But there was turkeys in the road. There was
Yeah, it was a flock of turkeys. We got to see deer ran right in front of us. It was amazing.
Not in a car. We were just riding our bikes. we didn't hit them. No, but we saw the stag, and then we were kind of just observing him, taking pictures and so forth. And then Mama and the baby came running afterwards. It was really cool.
I know. And it's kind of funny. We were bike riding, and I said today, the only thing we haven't seen yet is deer.
Mm-hmm.
And literally seconds later, we saw the stag, and we're like, oh my God, and we got our cameras out, and then Mama and the baby came trotting, whatever you call it, across the road. Yeah,
you saw more deer hiking with Mary the next day, correct? You were just out hiking around our campground. And
that was because there's cabins that you can rent also at that area of Myakka, and it was the road to the cabins that we went down, and then it comes out, I think, to one of the roads, and there they were, right at the side of the road at the end there, and there was 3 of them, and they just sat there eating, and another wonderful experience to see them. It was just the wildlife. Oh, and you saved a turtle, which was really cool. Yes. I love that. We're big animal, advocates.
Turtle in the middle of the road, and cars were, of course, not a lot of traffic, and they go slow, but, car might not see it, right? So we picked it up and moved to the side of the road.
You did. Got off his bike and got the little turtle and put it on the side of the road. And, of course, raccoons, like our raccoon experience. You got to remember, obviously, that, hey, if you go over to your friend's campsite and it gets dark, guess what? There's raccoons. So little experience there. But the wildlife is truly amazing. And I did love our area that we were in for the trees and the privacy and the peacefulness. What'd you say? What's it called? Palmetto Ridge, that newer one that's a little bit more open. And then the hiking too. So when we did the day trip, there's a tremendous amount of trails to go hiking. You could kind of go off the trails a little bit. I was with my nephew and his wife, and they took us off the paths there because there's even wild boar.
A lot of wild boar at Myakka, yeah.
So, and that time we saw, deer as well. So it's a really cool place for wildlife, for sure.
And if you're into boating or fishing, the lake is massive. And if you drive into the park and you go, there's actually 2 entrances to the park, but you go to the Outpost area. There's a huge parking lot and a boat launch, so for kayaks or boats or canoes or what have you, and you can rent canoes there. You can rent bikes at the Outpost, so there's a lot of that there. The only negative to the whole experience was the fact that there was 0 cell phone service. Now, you might go, well, you're camping, you don't need a cell phone. Well, but we have a business that we run. So that business gives us the opportunity, as long as we have a cell phone and internet access, to be able to get away for a few days anytime that we like. So cell phone services is pretty important to us. So you had to leave your campsite. Remember, I had to go like every so often to drive to the Outpost.
Right.
And stand at a certain location at a certain angle at the Outpost to be able to get a cell phone reception and text people and whatnot, just to keep things going with our business. So, but that was the only downside.
Yeah, no exaggeration. Literally, the Outpost had a second level, so you had to go up the stairs to the back end in the corner to
and lean over the railing.
to actually get
And you
cell
got
phone
some
service.
bars right there.
And we have T-Mobile, but I understand that all the different carriers, it was an issue with cell service. So.
But the fact of the matter is, Myakka River State Park Campground, fantastic place to go. It's just east of Bradenton, so not far off the beaten path if you're on the West Coast. If you're on the East Coast, you got to do a little bit of traveling through the state of Florida, of course, to get there. But well worth the drive. We rank it, I believe we ranked it number 3 on as far as all the state parks that we've visited so far. Definitely number 1 for wildlife. Just a great place.
It was.
You agree?
Yep.
Okay. That's it for Myakka River State Park. We are going to take a break here because we got a couple other state parks that we need to review today, right? On video?
We do.
We do. So we'll be back here in a little bit. But for you, go to Myakka. You're going to have a great time. Take good care.
See y'all soon.